Live. All right, check it out, folks. Y'all already know where we at. We on the east side. Y'all know where we at. We on the east side. I got my boy TP from Scottsdale Finding. Mo, get in the picture. Okay. I got my brother, C-Mo Goody. You already know what it is. Check this out. This is a youth football coaching clinic. Slide over.
Which one?
Tell you right. This is youth football coaching clinic.
I know I'm fat.
My cousin Rodney checking in. First thing about football, youth football, period. I've been coaching 20 years. This year I took a year off just because I needed some time to myself. But this is for everybody who want to get into coaching. And for the ones who are already coaching, just some suggestions, minor suggestions that might help y'all out. The first thing, when coaching youth football, especially in Georgia, Georgia is one of the top states in youth football. Bar none, I want to bring in some guests too to chime in on some of the things that we have, the culture of football. Y'all already know we smash mouth, meaning smash mouth is basically we run it downhill, all tackle, between the gaps, A gap, whatever you want to call it. That's what we do in Georgia. They always say we cheat because we got some big boys, which at the end of the day, every state got big boys, but we got a little bit more tenacity when we talking about running the ball. Offensive linemen, our defensive linemen, big, fast, physical. We had a defensive lineman at my high school, Shamlin High School. Shout out to Shamlin High School. Shout out to Cater High too. He was 6'3", 363 in the 9th grade, running like a 4'7", 4'8". Big Dookie. That's what we call him. But his real name Rod Eberson. Let me see if I can chime in, tag him in.
What's up?
But anyway, we just grew up with athletes. Just like my cousin Rodney on live, started since he was 9th grade, out of Gresham Park, went to what school? Lakeside. Went to Lakeside. And he's just a terror, like raw talent. But at the end of the day, we talking about coaching, and first thing, as a youth football coach, get your coaches. I see a lot of young coaches want to coach because their son played. I had the opposite idea. I wanted to coach just because I knew a lot of kids. I grew up in the hood. I grew up on the north side, Peachtree Industrial, Brookhaven, Lenox area, and I just knew too many kids in the neighborhood. Not to mention I was from the east side too. My grandma lived on Garland, Candler Road, Moria Drive. So I had a lot of access to children, period. Not to mention it was just in my family that we love children.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How did you know you was gonna be successful at coaching?
Great question. How do I know I was gonna be successful? I would credit that to my memory. When you growing up playing youth football, a lot of people forget the fundamentals that your youth football coach taught you. I can remember all the way down to my first time going into the park at North Decatur, Honeysuckle Park. I can remember going through the gates. I can remember seeing thousands of children in football equipment. I can remember me first time hitting, like the drills. I can remember what drills I didn't like at 6 years old. Rest in peace, my boy Leland White. He the one introduced me to football. And from then on, I just fell in love with football. But we're going to get into the fundamentals and the principles of youth football. And that was a great question. But going back to the first thing you need a coaching staff. Listen, my suggestion, 3 offensive coaches, 3 defensive coaches, and 1 just assistant coach who just there for more support. A lot of times, I see in youth football in Georgia, I see 1 or 2 coaches on the sideline. Ain't no way you gonna get that. Ain't no way you gonna be successful. You ask me how you be successful. When I know if I'm the head coach, and I've been the head coach ever since I was 22 years old, I had 3 offensive coaches, 3 defensive coaches. We always met after the practice. We sat down, we talked. On Friday nights, I was real serious about it. We sat down at my house. We got some wings, chips, beer, whatever. We sat down and said, okay, this is how we're going to map out the game. A lot of times, I don't see you coaches doing it no more. They just come up to the park and blow their whistle. Half the time, coaches don't even have whistles. That's my pet peeve. And I'm going to bring some more people on from next Monday. I see my brother-in-law, Coach Lucky, and we're going to bring him in. But my pet peeve is coaches not having a whistle. Listen, I suggest to everybody, if you coaching youth football and your kids do not have a coach that have a whistle, their first football game, I guarantee you they're going to be traumatized. Because the whistle going to be blowing, they're going to be scared already. I don't care what age is, from ages 6, 5 to 12 to 14. They're going to hear that whistle and they ain't never heard it in practice. It's going to be a whole nother world.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Break down what each individual coach would be doing on offense. Because you said they should have minimum of 3 and 3, right?
That's right.
Okay, so break down what the 3 on offense should be doing and what the 3 on defense should be doing, and how should a head coach conduct his practice?
Great question. My first thing, the line. Coach Simo, I don't know if you want to call him Coach Simo, but Simo, me and him grew up in U4. He played Gresham Park, played for North DeKalb. The offensive line, we had a saying, the line don't groove, the team won't move. Meaning, line is the first important process of building a football team. My offensive line coach, what we working on, we're going to talk about the drills in practice. You want to have a segment of practice, whether it be 5-minute increments, 15-minute increments, or 20 minutes. Especially in the beginning of the season. You want to give your offensive lineman coach at least 20 to 25 minutes of time to teach fundamentals. Next thing, quarterback. Quarterback's a running back. I don't care what level it is. Hold on, we got hit mode on the back of that light. What the red light at? Hit mode. Hold on. Snoop.
Yeah.
Let me call you back. We on live. We can't see if we can get you. Hey, see if you can add Foxwood North _. See if you can add him. I got TP gonna try to add you.
On Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah. Look up Foxwood _NAWL. Alright, check this out. Back to it. Foxwood _ that him right now. Boom. See if we can add him.
Look at it. It's going down.
We gotta turn the camera back the other way. Thank you for the producer. All right, we back. Listen, Coach Tay, I want to add you to Lucky. I was trying to add you, Lucky, but I couldn't add you. Could you add him on that? On
I sent him
Instagram?
a,
Hey,
I sent him an inbox.
we gonna have this thing broke down, so we ain't gonna be going all over the place. We're gonna have it broke down into questions and segments.
Definitely.
I sent him an inbox.
But we doing raw dog. We do
We
everything
doing
raw.
raw. Yeah, this raw right here.
We just getting it together right now.
The question he had asked before we got rudely interrupted by a phone call: what should the offensive coordinators do? First one, always offensive lineman.
Yep.
Second one, quarterback and running back. They should have 15, 20-minute increments on fundamental drill. This is the beginning of the season. And last but not least, wide receiver. I don't care what age you in. 10 to 15 minutes, we throwing and catching the ball with wide receiver. Listen, this is very important on the offensive side. Now let's go to the defensive side.
That was only 2 coaches.
First coach, offensive line. Second coach gonna be quarterbacks and running backs. The third coach gonna be the wide receiver. Okay. Now let's go to defensive side.
Who the offensive coordinator out of there?
The offensive coordinator can be Most of the time, it's gonna be the quarterback coach or the running back coach.
Either one of them three can be.
I don't see an offensive lineman coach be the play caller. OC, yes. Okay, let's go to the defensive side. Cedric, what's up, my brother? Said. Defensive side again. If the line don't groove, the team won't move. Your defensive line coach needs at least 30 minutes because what they say, defense win championship. So on offense, you're gonna give your offensive line coach 20, 25 minutes. Defense 30. And 10 minutes of that defensive period need to be crabbing. And we'll get into that later. You got your defensive coach, and you got your linebacker coach. Then you got your DB coaches. That's why it's necessary to have 3 and 3. Now, in youth football, you don't know nobody. Your offensive line coach most likely gonna be your defense coach. Your quarterback and running back coach most likely gonna be your DB coach. Your wide receiver coach sometimes can be the linebacker coach, but listen, your linebacker is your quarterback on defense. So at the end of the day, I would suggest you have a specific just one coach just for linebacker and don't have them doing dual role. Most of y'all know what dual role means. I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah. That's the first step. Now, you got any more questions?
No, but let me explain to my audience right quick.
Go ahead. Break it down.
So what we got going on is we got a Youth Talk Sports Football podcast going on where we, pretty much going to either have coaches come on, we're going to have other players come on in our interviews, and we're just going to be talking about, youth sports all together, not just football. We're going to get into basketball, we're going to get a whole lot of things. Right now, we know football is heavy.
Right.
So that's what we got going on. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If y'all got any questions, sit right here, one of my best friends, Tim, Showtime.
Damn right.
Coaching for 20 plus years, North DeKalb. He started out playing youth football at North DeKalb Chargers. We both played high school football together. We got my brother over there, Simo.
In the building.
We met in high school, 30 plus year friendship. So we all played,
At the
significant time in youth football, whether it was on the park ball to high school. Simo even went to the next level with it.
Played at Troy University.
So, we got knowledge over here that some coaches need, some players may want to listen to and tune in, help you be a better player, help you be a better coach, help you be a better sports parent. Because some of y'all don't know how to be sports parents and stay parents.
And we're going to get into that.
So we're going to get into all of that.
Yeah, we're going to definitely get into that. And this is just the first month, like Simo said, we raw dogging it. But check this out. That's the next subject I do want to cover. Parent participation. After you get your 3 coaches on offense, 3 coaches on defense, you sit down, you have a real meeting. And we ain't talking about no meeting where everybody come to somebody's house and you watching the game and by chance we talking about football, youth football. No, you want to have a meeting where everything cut off, your phones cut off, and we're going to get strictly to the business. But the second important thing is having a parents meeting. Listen, you're going to have to educate your parents. And most of the time I've been noticing youth football right now. 6% of these parents have never been an athlete at all. I don't know what's going on about that, but you're going to have 6% of the parents that really don't understand a team sport. Most parents know about a team, but actually what does it mean to be a part of a team sport? Especially, I don't care what age it is. Everybody want their son to be a quarterback, which I highly don't suggest because we're going to get into another episode. The second position everybody want their child to be is a running back. Third position that most first-time parents want their child to be a wide receiver. And at 6 years old, you pretty much ain't catching the ball. Unless you have that special kid like we was growing up, catching the ball at 5 years old, 4 years old. Like right now, it's a select few children that's able to catch the ball and understand what to do after they catch the ball. Coach Taylor won't let you join in. Okay.
Having a quarterback to give him the ball. Shit.
Okay. So, first thing, you get your coaches. Your second thing, you have your parents meeting. Third, most important thing, if you like me from the hood, I grew up with pretty much in poverty, so to speak. You want to get your fundraisers together. Like that's, when you have a meeting with your parents, the next step should be, hey, how we going to get this money together? Sponsorship, fundraising. Listen, if everybody knows a little bit about politics, right now, inflation is real. And we're going to get into politics because politics go hand in hand with youth football, because whatever laws they making, I guarantee you they will affect your team. A lot of y'all like, well, ain't no politician. Well, you going to have to understand what's really going on. Let me go back. Hold on 1 second.
Also, parents, you kind of dictate the discipline of the team by your attitude, by how you try to possess your vocal, how vocal you are when it comes to being at the games. You have to allow your coaches to be coaches. Stop trying to be the coach. Stop trying to be the coach from the sideline.
And let me get into that too, what he's saying. Oh my Lord. Listen, after your 60% of the parents don't know football,
Yep.
then you got your other 40% who have some knowledge. You might have some NFL. I don't coach kids where their father played NFL. I'm not going to name drop, but I was fortunate enough to coach NFL players, college players, children. Most of the time, the ones who only played 1 year of youth football is Bill Belichick, so to speak. They sweated Bill Parcells, Andy Reid, all the above. My suggestion, have a sidebar. And I always tell parents, listen, if your significant other father not here or your child's father not here, please let me get their number. You don't really have to have a meeting. Have a sit down. Dad, what do you eat? What do you expect your child to do while playing youth football? And that'll break the ice. Because if you don't meet these children's father, they're going to show out during game. Then you're going to have an extra coach in the stand. He going to act like he with the team, but at the end of the day, he's selfish about his child, which is not really nothing bad about it, but it's disrupt the flow of the team. And everybody swear they know football until they really want to blow their whistle. So I would suggest all you football coaches, have a meeting with their dad, let them know, hey, come on down, hey, nice to meet you, shake a hand. What do you expect out of your child? Hopefully he asks you, Coach, what do you see in my child? Because at the end of the day, if it's week 8 and we haven't seen the father all year, then he comes to the game and he have a critique of your coaching, half the time he don't know what your child been doing week 1. And what is he doing practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6:30, 8:30. Because them 2 hours going to tell if he's ready to play the game of football. And you need to know all this information. Like I said, I'm equipping you with everything you need to know entry in youth football. This is just the first segment. TP, what you got? I mean, anything else?
Everything you saying, you know, is on point. But along with that, parents. I know parents, y'all got eyes, right? Y'all got eyes and ears. And you know when your child is up to par and whether or not how much he should really be on that field when it come to game day. Don't have an ego when your child is not playing that much because he don't participate that much in practice. Or he over there standing next to his buddy and they talking and they ain't learning nothing in practice. And then you come to the game Saturday and say, Coach, well, why my son ain't playing?
Well, ma'am, I'm practicing with him, and when he leave practice, he go home and play video games. He don't go home and work on no technique. You ain't got him doing no extra training or nothing. And then I have a kid over here who come to practice and pays attention and do what he do. And, you know, he's performing on a level to where he should get adequate playing time. Hey, I'm sorry. I apologize that you're not taking it as serious as the next kid. You know, so I'm one of them coaches I believe in, you know, you perform where you play. If you're sitting over there playing and BSing and not watching what's going on, I would not allow you to get another kid hurt because you don't know what's going on and you're not performing to the best of your ability.
And let me speak on that too. You just said something that's real valuable. A lot of times we see children outside of football play like God. Meaning, when the pads not on in the neighborhood, they all world. But when they get to practice and doing the game, they freeze up. And that's normal, especially in youth football. It takes a while, just like anything you do, for you to get comfortable in playing a sport, especially when we're talking about a physical sport. A physical sport, listen, it might take 8 games for them to wake up and be like, okay, now I understand my side, man. And I'm confident enough to perform my duties at a high level. But I don't expect no first year players, I don't care if it's the second year player, to immediately come from the street to organize football and be a star. And that's another thing about this society, this culture. Out the womb, these parents think their child is NFL ready. And ain't no way your child is under the age of 12 is ready for the spotlight. So you got to understand, listen, it takes time. This microwave society, you got to understand, you got to trust the process. And I always teach that, trusting the process. Going through the drills, going through the conditioning part, going through the mental part, the play. And we're gonna get into that again on another podcast as far as how conditioning goes. Because a lot of people come from the personal training world to the football world and think it's the same, and it's two totally different lives that you got to understand when you talking about training. So that's about a good first segment. We
just testing the water.
Yeah, we gonna definitely test the water because this is definitely something needed. And we ready for any and everybody to come on in and ask questions, chime in. We got some coaches next Monday who want to come in on the live. We got to get out live. Like I said, we going raw dog. We just getting it started. Because this is my passion. I love youth football. Coaching period. I do coach basketball, I do coach baseball. Got championships in all three of them, football, basketball, baseball. A couple of people in the city know me. I ain't gonna say I'm well known, but when you hear Coach Tim, I've been doing it for a long time. I got a lot of great friends. And we're gonna have a segment with officials. I got some great officials that I've been knowing 30 years. When I was playing football, I know some of the same officials, some of them in NFL. Again, I ain't gonna name drop, but I've been around a long time. Been around a long time. I know a lot of people. I can provide a lot of help. And on the administration side, I've been talking to a lot of politicians in the city, in the state, and we can provide funding for your organization. So it's not just for coaches, it's for park presidents, vice presidents, secretary of parks, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to give you everything we got. We're looking forward to coming back next Monday. You got anything to add?
No, just be on the lookout.
Seymour, you got anything to add? Listen.
Yes.
I'm going to have different people on that not necessarily coach, but like Seymour chime in, he know football. Can you give me a little story about growing up at Gresham Park?
Hey, all I'm gonna tell you is we had hard-nosed coaches. So y'all parents out here, You gotta allow your child to be coached.
Jesus Christ,
That's
amen.
the key to this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, you know, I ain't saying being disrespectful and being a good coach. I'm just saying, you know, you got to get a man an opportunity to do his job. But that's the best thing that my mama them did back in the day. They dropped you off at the gate. And once you got to that gate, you were no longer their responsibility. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gave them over to the coaches. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what I want. That's what I got out of youth football.
All right.
And you know what I'm saying? That's what got me prepared to play at that next level was not my mama being a hinder to me. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in a household with just a mom, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be overprotected, but my mama wasn't a hinder to me. She obviously let them coaches coach me, so I went out there and learned and, you know, understood the game. But that's what I got out of youth football that prepared me if I had great coaches, and that's what this show is about. Creating great coaches and giving coaches a platform, you know what I'm saying, to network with each other and talk and learn more about being a great coach and being a great leader of kids, because that's the next key. You got to be able to lead children. If you can't lead your household, you can't lead no kids. So you need to be able to have your stuff in order, so when you come out of that field, you can have that in order. Like,
That's right.
you got to have one thing in order before you can get to the next. Like, you got too many coaches out here ain't got their first part in order, but trying to do something with somebody else's children and they family. You got to get your life in order to be a great coach, because it takes hand on and lots of dedication and hard work.
Definitely. But I want you to do a name, couple of coaches you remember at Gresham Park.
I'm saying, man, I got Coach Reggie.
Coach Reggie for sure.
Yeah, rest in peace. I had Coach Ward, rest in peace.
Ooh,
You know
Ward.
what I'm saying? I had some real solid coaches. I had Coach Murphy. You know what I'm saying? I had real solid coaches in my life. I had Coach Garrett. I had Mr. Perryman, Coach Perryman. You know what I'm saying? I had real solid Coach Gill. You know what I'm saying? I had real solid Coach Treadwell. Like, I can name every coach. They've been over 30, 40 years ago. That's how much of an impact they made in my life. I can name every last one of them. Like, because they, you know what I'm saying? That's how much it means.
Man.
And that's what we here, you know. That's what it's all about, you know. We in here trying to enlighten, you know, these young coaches, man, and let you know how much of a real big impact you got on a kid's life. Because me and Showtime gonna get to talk to y'all about how we ended up with new coaches our senior year and how that shit messed our life up. And that shit ain't funny. He laughing, but it really messed our life up. But
Yeah, it will.
we'll talk
We
about
were
that too,
down
but
here.
that's how much coaches mean to a child.
Definitely.
But thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're going to have some good segments next time. We're going to have it broke down a lot better, and it's going to be awesome. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
And we out.